to my space. My name is Wanja. I'm so excited to be having you guys again. This is the 5th video and we are going to be talking about pitch, tone, and volume control. Okay, we've learned so much so far. The last time we were here, we talked about the important terminologies that are there in voice acting that you're going to hear on so many occasions, and it's good for you to know them so that you don't seem like, anytime you walk into a room with professionals, and they are looking forward to maybe hearing you do your thing. Okay, it's important for you to understand these terms. So again, as I said, we're going to be talking about pitch, tone, and volume control. So we're going to start from the top. What is pitch? So pitch refers to the perceived frequency of a sound that determines how high or low a sound is. Okay, so that is what pitch is, and it has some various important things to consider anytime that you are talking about pitch when it comes to voice acting. Okay, it can create that character differentiation. Anytime there's an animation, there's always maybe a dad and a son, and you will notice the son has his voice, or a lady's voice will have a high pitch, okay, and a gentleman's voice will be a bit lower than you would expect. Okay, so that is one of the importances of making sure that you have a differentiation in pitch. I've done a couple of voiceovers whereby I was playing a kid's role, so I can't speak like this as a kid. I had to go a bit higher so that people can actually relate to a kid. Okay, yes. So another thing is emotional expression. So when it comes to pitch, we know anytime someone is feeling emotional, their voice gets a bit high-pitched and squeaky. So that is something that you can really expect. So maybe if you're doing a voiceover that requires a lot of emotion to it, your voice has to go a bit high, maybe. Or maybe if you're doing a voicing whereby someone is excited, we all know that when with excitement, the voice might get a little high-pitched, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, I'm so excited. You see, the high pitch. And and maybe if the mood is a bit somber or a bit serious, things get the pitch goes lower. You're like, oh really, that is what you think, so it gives that emotional expression. You can be able to tell what the character is feeling by how they communicate, okay, the pitch they use while communicating. Yes, and then another importance of pitch is versatility. As a voiceover actor, if you're able to have a good vocal range when it comes to pitch, it makes you more versatile. That means you can fit into so many roles. You can play a role as a father, you can play a role as a child, you can play a role as... It gives you more options to go with, okay? As for me, I've done a couple of voiceovers whereby it really required a high pitch, and as you can see, this is my normal talking voice, and I had to go a bit higher, which isn't comfortable if you do not get to maybe do vocal warm-ups and exercises and things like that, and even play around with your voice to see how much you can do. So yeah, that is something that we'll be tackling a little later, so make sure you stick around for that and more. Okay, so here are some techniques to make sure that you hack that pitch when it comes to your voiceover acting, and we have pitch exercises. This, I will say, we are lucky to be in the digital era or the digital age whereby there's so much information that we can even consume. Let's just be honest. If you decide to go through YouTube today, you wouldn't complete all the videos that are there because there are more and more videos that are coming up, okay? So there are various pitch exercises that you can do to make sure that you can be able to play around with your voice so that you can have a wider range when it comes to your pitch, okay? So that is one way to do it, and a little later we're going to be having a video on some vocal warm-ups and exercises that I have seen me through. I can share them with you then, and then you can be able to implement them into your everyday routine. Okay, another thing is controlled breathing. Breathing is a big issue. I remember when I started out, I really used to have so many breaths in between, but I learned how to incorporate the breathing into the communication, okay, in a way that you can't... Breathing sometimes holds you back from expressing yourself in the best way possible, because if people notice that you're really catching your breath, they will get the feeling that maybe you're not confident in what you're sharing, and we don't want people feeling that. We don't want people thinking that. We want people to trust in what you're saying. So that again will require breath control and support, which is something that we're also going to look at, so stick around for that as well. And then we're going to look at voice training. I I know I said the most important tool is your voice, but that's not all. You need to put in the work so that you can become as good as you want to. It's something that you have to do on a daily, and it doesn't require much effort. You just have to fall in love with the process and fall in love with it, and you will love each and every single bit of it. Okay, so I think we're done with pitch. Okay, I'm trying to make sure this video is not that long so that we can be able to catch up with everything. So the other one we have, we talked about pitch, tone, and volume control. So we've talked about pitch, now we're going to go to tone. So what is tone? So tone refers to the quality or character of the voice which conveys different emotions and attitudes. So your tone will determine how people will be able to decipher what you're passing across. Okay, it'll tell what your emotions are, it'll tell what your attitude is. Now let's look at the importances of tone when it comes to conveying information. So number one, we have emotional conveyance. If you are maybe trying to pass across, you're serious, okay, and you're trying to pass across some serious information, your tone will tell it all. You will be composed enough, and your tone will have that to it. People will be able to tell the difference between, oh, this is something funny, you know, it's something that we can all laugh to, it's a comedy scene, and the difference between a comedy scene and a tragedy scene, it's all in the tone. Okay, another thing is character consistency. So we find that mostly in movies or animations, characters have specific tones sort of attached to them. Anytime you see a particular character, you know that this is a fun and hyped character. An example is SpongeBob, okay? Anytime you hear that squeaky voice, you know, and that's the tone that he has maintained almost throughout, apart from maybe when there's a bit of fluctuations depending on the story that the scene is trying to give. But when I mention SpongeBob, the first emotion that comes to mind is he is happy, he's excited, you know, something like that. Okay, so another thing, we have audience engagement. A well-modulated tone will be the difference between people wanting to listen to you and people wanting to move on to the next thing. Okay, so you have to make sure when it comes to your tone, it's well modulated to keep people listening, to keep people intrigued, to keep people wanting more, depending again on the type of voicing that you're taking on. A documentary, for example, it requires a modulated kind of tone, whereby people will be able to follow through with the conversation and be able to grasp the most important or key things that the documentary is trying to put across. Also, that is on tone, and let's finish up on the techniques. Again, you need to work on tone exercises, and these things are available for you online. I'll be tagging some of the videos that you guys can follow up on so that you can work on your pitch, on your tone, and volume control. You're welcome. Yes, so we're going to another thing also when it comes to tone is recording yourself and playing it back. I know it's weird sometimes listening to yourself, but you won't be able to correct where you're making mistakes if you can't stand listening to yourself. And I think that should be the first thing. You need to be comfortable with listening to yourself so that you can know the articulation has an issue. My pitch, maybe if I tweak it like this, it could be a bit better. If I make this and this changes, it could be better. Okay, so record yourself and play it back. Record and play back each and every time. Okay, then the last thing, you can maybe try taking on acting classes. As I said in my story video, I had the pleasure of taking a 3-month short course in acting, so it became easier for me to be able to convey my emotions, to use tone when it comes to my voicing, because I had the background in that. Yes, so as I said, acting really helped me big time. So I will share some notes that I have. Maybe I will do it as a special edition of this voicing crash course, whereby I can teach you maybe a few things that I learned from my acting class and how I implemented it in voice acting. So let's go to the last thing, that is voice control. And in voice control, when we talk about voice control, it's the ability to manipulate the various aspects of your voice, including pitch, tone, your volume, and your speed or tempo, as we talked about in the important terminologies in voice acting. So when it comes to volume control, or otherwise known as voice control, it is important so that you can have that clarity and precision, because it'll make sure you're clear and precise, and people you're trying to talk to or communicate to will be able to understand what you're saying. And another thing is versatility. If you're able to control your voice, you can be a very, very good voice actor, and you can do so many things with your voice. You can be a child today, you can be a man tomorrow, you can be that squishy ball in an animation, you can be a video games commentator, you can be so many things. Okay, so that sets you for great things, amazing things. And then another thing is on consistency. With voice control, you'll be able to know how to maintain consistency when it comes to talking. You will know when you need to go take your lows, when you need to take your highs. It'll keep your performance consistent, and it is very crucial, especially in long recording sessions whereby people don't have to keep repeating. Okay, if you have voice control, you'll make it easy even for the ones you're working with. Okay, you'll give them what they want, maybe even with a fast take. And I'm not saying it's wrong for you to have up to a fifth take. No, I'm just saying if you have voice control, you'll make it easier and it'll be better for you when you're working on your voice acting. So another technique that helps out when it comes to voice control is breath control. When you understand how to control your breath, it'll be easy for you to know how best to manipulate your voice so that you can produce certain sounds without losing your breath. Yes, so you'll also learn how to use that diaphragmatic breathing, okay, whereby your diaphragm supports the breathing so that you don't sound too breathy anytime you're trying to communicate something. And then the articulation exercises will help you such that even though you change how you sound, your pitch, your tone changes, you will be able to be articulate and people will be able to hear what you are trying to say. Okay, there'll be that clarity in your voice. And then again, with the voice warm-ups, each and every time you have to do them. It's not just for singers, even communicators, public speakers, voiceover actors as well. So make sure you also have that. And then the pacing practice, depending on what sort of voiceover you're doing. Your pace is very, very important. For a documentary, you need a moderate pace. Sometimes in video games, the pace needs to be quick. Even when it comes to animations, depending on the character that you're given. Maybe it's a character who is always up on toes and very excited, so the speech has to be fast, it has to be quick. So that is another thing. So here are some practical tips to finish up the video on developing pitch, tone, and voice control. So number one, you have daily practice. Make sure you practice each and every day. Okay, without fail. It doesn't matter whether it's 15 minutes, that consistency, doing it over and over again, it'll make it easier, okay? And then record and review as much as you can. Record and review. Find a script somewhere online, or if you can write, even better, write something, record yourself, review it. If you have people around you that you can maybe reach out to that can help you review, even better, okay? And then seek feedback. Very important. Listen to find someone to mentor you and have them listen to your voice and maybe guide you through where you need to work on, where you need to make changes. It'll go a long way. And then make sure you stay hydrated. Take a lot of water. Now, if you don't like water, now this is where I get you. You have to make sure you drink adequate water, okay, so that your throat can stay hydrated and it won't be hard for you to communicate because of a dry throat. And then we have a healthy lifestyle. Make sure you eat food that is healthy. Yes, even voice actors require to be healthy so that you can be able to have a clear voice, okay? And then the last thing, explore different genres. Don't limit yourself yet. It's good to be a jack of all trades. Try to learn as much as you can. Try to learn video games. Try to learn animation. Try to learn commercials. Try to learn documentaries. Try to learn trailers as much as you can. Like, take all that, okay? Maybe there's something you can be particularly good at, but learn as much as you can. Wow, so this was a very, very long video, but I hope you learned pitch, tone, and voice control or volume control, which is very, very important. Now, I hope you're going to implement it even as you continue on with the week. And yes, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button for any new videos that I post. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video so that you can learn so much about voice acting. That is it right here. My name is Sylvia Wanja. Make sure you follow all my socials. And again, I have a write-up. If you require these notes maybe to use them for future reference, you can reach out to me through my social media pages and social media handles. Remember to share. Have a beautiful rest of your day, night, or afternoon, depending on the time that you're watching this video. I think that's it. Bye.